Good morning. So today we are going to just jump right in and get to our crunch the numbers for chapter 8. So basically all they're going to do is we're asking to calculate that range spread that we talked about, what I talked about yesterday in the last video. They give us certain information, and so they are wanting us to fill in the blanks. So they give us that the midpoint of this particular range is 47,500, and then they have the range spread is 15%. So they want to know the minimum and the maximum. So if you go to page 186 in your book, I see figure 8-4, and it gives you the steps that you need to take in order to calculate these things. So the first step is what's circled here, is this midpoint. And it says the minimum equals the midpoint divided by 100% plus the spread divided by 2. So let's look at what that means here. So we'll have the midpoint, which is that 47,500 divided by 100% plus half of the 15%, okay, which is the 7.5. So it's that 15 divided by 2. And that's where I come up with the 44,186. And then it asks us to calculate this maximum. So again, if you look at figure 8-4, what it's going to tell you is that the maximum is equal to the minimum plus the spread. So here we've calculated our minimum. So now it's that 44,186 plus, all right, plus that minimum 44,186 times the 15%. And that is what gets you, there. I'm not very good with my pen yet, can you tell? Anyway, so that makes sense because the minimum to the maximum is the spread. If you think about it backwards, that spread is maximum minus minimum divided by minimum. So all we're doing is kind of reconfiguring that, all right? So then the next part of the problem is pay range B. So that was pay range A. So that would have been for pay grade 1, and this will be for pay grade 2. So for pay grade 2, the pay range, we have the midpoint and we have the range, the spread. So you're going to calculate that just the exact same way you did before, except here, right, because it's 25% of a pay spread, half of that is 12.5%. So here the minimum is equal to that midpoint, 53,750, divided by 100% plus 12.5%. And that is going to get you this 47,778. Once you know that, then you can calculate the maximum, because the maximum now is going to be that 47,778 plus 47,778 times 25%, and that gets you this 59,722. So the third part of the problem which you probably can't see because I'm in the way, is asking for the overlap. So let's just look at it. If we draw it out just like we drew out our other pay structures, we're going to have pay grade A, pay grade B, salaries here, pay ranges here. So this pay range here is what we just calculated, this 44,186 and the 50,814. Okay, so you can see that here. And then this second pay grade goes from the 47,778 to 59,722 up here. So we have these two pay grades. We want to know what this is. We want to know how much they are overlapping. All right. And so the formula that our book gives us is 100% times the maximum of A. So the maximum of A is this line here, that 50,814 maximum, minus the minimum of B. So this is the minimum of B right here. It's that 47,778. That's where your overlap is, okay? So that's just the difference between the maximum of A and the minimum of B is this 3,036. Then you divide that by the maximum of A minus the minimum of A. So A, the pay grade A is your anchor, all right? Now if you just eyeball it, let's just look at it. What do you think it's going to be? It looks to me like it should end up being somewhere around that 50% mark. So when you calculate it out, 100% times that difference here, 3,036 divided by maximum of A minus the minimum of A equals 46%. So logically, that makes sense. Okay? So that's all there is to calculating the minimums and maximums of these pay ranges as well as the overlap.